All right. We are live. Am I good? I'm gonna make sure there's no hissing sound on the mic. We are live. Little bit of hissing. I'm gonna turn down the gain. Let's see if that helps. I want to make sure it's okay. Hello, everybody. We are getting back. Oh, that made it worse. I feel like that made it worse. Hold on. Let me know if there's a bad gain on this thing. We're trying to figure it out. Live market close. Let me know how the audio sounds. I'm trying to get rid of the hiss. There shouldn't be a hiss. So let me know if there's a hiss. There shouldn't be a hiss. There's a little hiss. So let me know if there's a hiss. There shouldn't be a hiss. Okay, I hope there's not a hiss, or I hope it's not too bad. Hello, everybody. Thank you for being here. I'm trying to work on the audio, making it sound better. I don't know why, for some reason, it's being stupid, but I think it shouldn't be that bad. And you can let me kind of know what it's like. Let's zoom in here a little bit. All right, so we're closing out the market. See what it's. Why are you so hissy? That's funny. Eshen Chatterjee, amidst in the house. What's up? You can put up with it. Fuck, man, I hate that there's a hiss. I hate it so much. I gotta figure this thing out. But hopefully, I'm reducing the gain. So if I reduce the gain, I don't think it should be that bad. Ahad, what's up? Kelly, what's up? Jason, what's up? Jay Schwat, hello. Toby, what's up? All right, so it's been a boring market. I'm not gonna lie. This is one of those days where there's not that much news because there's really nothing going on, to be honest. There's some political news, but nothing. Hold on, let me pull up Webull. There's some political news. Biden has officially pardoned all people in federal prison that have marijuana charges on them, which is great. That's phenomenal. Great stuff. I don't know how you could be against that. That's really good news. So that's awesome. Yeah, for weed stocks. So for example, that should be great for weed stocks. But in general, I mean, if more state governments do that as well, that's going to be good for that industry in general. And the fact that the government is truly trying to decriminalize it after a long time is a good thing. But outside of that, there's not been any crazy news. Let me know if there's been any crazy news today. I mean, it's been pretty boring. Elon Musk and Twitter going back and forth, but I mean, like, that's whatever. Twitter, as you can see, it's down from its 54.20 share price. There's still some disagreements on if this deal is going to get done. Arc Innovation at $40, Enphase 257 down about 1.4%. Apple down to 145. Google staying strong at 102. S&P 373. That's where it was basically after the market opened. Nothing too crazy. Bonds are still giving an interesting look into this market. Obviously, the yield curves are still inverted. So we're kind of all just waiting for like that crazy recession, and like the market's like, no, we're gonna rally, and it's just like last 2 weeks we were like, oh no, it's definitely gonna happen, and now we're just like, is it gonna happen? So we're kind of like in the same position that we've been in for the past week. Nothing interesting has really happened. Amid stock move down after the S&P upgrade, crazy. Yeah, that's also true. I lost on a JP. I lost on a JP Morgan call in 2020 June when I was first started playing with options. I totally screwed up on it. I lost like $800 probably. You buy anything today? I bought 100 share. No, not 100. About like 50 something shares of DNA. So I bought a little bit. Nothing too crazy. I want to buy more Palantir, but I'm like, it's probably going to go below 8, so I'm waiting. $85 million contract for 5 years. Yes, that's been amazing for Palantir. Again, I am more bullish than ever, and I really want to load up, but I think earnings are going to come out, and it's probably going to do bad after earnings because of the SPAC losses, and in general, the market's not, that kind to Palantir ever. So I think I can get it for even cheaper, to be honest. 840 is like, wait. This is like ARK, right? I wouldn't buy ARK at 40. I would probably wait till it gets back into the 30s, which it probably will. You never know. That's why you DCA, but you never know. I do have $1,000 in my SoFi account, and I just realized I haven't spent it. So I'm like, I got to put that $70 somewhere. or that $1,000 somewhere. Jersey weather is like the market. We go from 50. Yeah, Jersey's. It was hot in my house today, and on Monday I was freezing. I'm about to check the weather right now. It was just so confusing to me why the weather changed. 76 degrees, bro. On Monday it was freezing. Like we had to turn the heat on in my house. It was freezing. So it was really weird. Got timely notification this time. Greetings from the Netherlands. That's so awesome, Martin. Thank you for being here from the Netherlands. Buying SoFi and SoFi. Yeah, I was like, I might as well just put into SoFi. Selling puts on SOXL. Chris says that. Where's SOXL? I don't know what this company is. Oh, semiconductor bull ETF. Interesting. Chris, you want to explain the logic behind why you're doing that? My portfolio is very green today. Pins got an upgrade, right? Pinterest got an upgrade. Where's Pinterest? Where are we at? 2582. It's up 5%. So a little bit of green on the Pinterest. Tesla is red, but not too red from yesterday. I think it's up a little bit from yesterday. SoFi is green as well, but nothing too crazy. Yeah, man, it's boring. Duolingo, this is a Chris stock, is up nicely from like 90 last time we saw it. So that's not too bad for that stock. Miyoko, man, notifications 5 minutes late, but I'm here. Thank you for being here, Miyoko. Yeah, I just started 5 minutes ago. Didn't say anything too much. Semis are beaten down, will likely recover the best. Yeah, Chris, you're bullish on AMD, right? That's another reason I thought, well, your thesis then makes sense if you're buying AMD. The drama with Twitter is good. Yeah, dude, you're Indian and the last one to get the peninsula. I'm sorry, man. My Indian accent is so bad. It's just so bad. I tried to do it and it's so bad. Check Hexo and Planet. Okay, let's go to Hexo. This is a weed company, right? Might be wrong on this, but that's up. Wow, 20%. Oof, not bad. And then we got Planet 13. When I went to Vegas, I didn't see any Planet. I think I saw it on like a billboard. Yo, Vegas has so many billboards. It's actually insane. I don't even know Planet 13's ticker symbol. I gotta get that. Yeah, man, it's a boring market. It's so boring. It's like there's nothing that interesting. We're about to go on YouTube. Let's see what the talking heads on CNBC are saying, but to be honest, things are just boring. Look at this. CNBC just uploaded a video. What impact does ETF trading have on the marketplace? That's how you know things are bad, bro. They don't have anything to talk about. Like, they're gonna make generic videos about ETFs. I mean, yeah, things are. It's one of those days. Google showed their new Pixel 7. That's new, right? That's like important. Peloton cut 500 jobs. All right, let's listen to this. If we do have a recession, it'll be on the milder side, and then we'll get ready for the market close. There's a Planet 13 location outside of Jeremy's house. Jay Shaw, you're the best troll. His house, by the way, my Jeremy interview is coming out as soon as this live stream ends. It'll be on Audia. There'll be a clip on YouTube. So I would encourage everyone to listen to it on Audia today, and then the video will be out on Saturday. But we talked about a bunch of stuff. Also, his house does not have a Planet 13. His house is in a gated community, so it's a bit more different. All right, let's hear this one.
Guys, it's great to have you both. Megan, we talked last week, and you did say that you thought the time to reduce risk had probably passed. Since then, we've had a couple of 90% up days. You feel just as good about that position?
Yeah, Carl, thanks for having me. I think that this market is one where you have to stay invested. There's a number of headwinds on the horizon, but there's also some potential for rally into the end of the year. If you think about seasonality, if you think about midterm elections as possible catalysts, from an economic standpoint, there are also signs that the inflation data is improving. You were all talking about the ISM services, and I think the ISM services prices paid is probably the most important part of that survey to be paying attention to, because if you look at it, it overlays very nicely with headline CPI and suggests that we could have potentially a 5 handle on CPI by the end of the year. We think it's probably more likely to be slightly higher, but I think that deceleration is in place. And that does set up for the Fed to get to a certain point and then pause and possibly be able to coast this economy to that soft landing.
Right. You're right about some of those fast-moving metrics, Steve, which is why it's kind of curious. This headline from Kashkari a few moments ago, we've seen almost no evidence that inflation is peaking. Where do you think he gets that?
Well, Carl, I think he partially gets it from, from the anecdotal stuff that the Fed collects. Partially is the Fed tends to be a little late on this stuff. And so I think the markets often get ahead of the Fed, which is both a blessing and a risk from time to time. I think if we get ahead of them in terms of thinking they're going to change prematurely, that's not necessarily a good thing. But in terms of discounting events, it is a fine thing. So where he gets it from is a little tricky to say, but sometimes I think it's more about messaging as anything else.
Megan, if you're betting that there's going to be some sort of recession, and I realize there's a lot of details about when or what that could look like, how would you recession-proof your portfolio right now, given the conversations and what?
This is a good question. How would you recession-proof your portfolios? Also, let me know if the mic just peaked when I paused the video and I started talking. I tried to talk very normally. Let me know if it peaked. So I'll try to fix it in the future, or I'll at least have the data that it's peaking.
What we do now.
Well, Morgan, we've already had a drawdown that is in line with historically mild recessions. And it's always hard to know, but by all accounts, we do think that if we do have a recession, it's going to be on the milder side. So again, to the intro Carl set up, I think the time to reduce risk has passed. You'd be wanting to look at positioning for the bounce, and maybe getting into some of those more beaten down parts of the market. We still like growth over value. Parts of technology have really been beaten down, and they would tend to lead out of this drawdown as well. But I don't think it's the time to be taking huge bets. And actually, we just increased our exposure to fixed income to neutral because of the appeal.
So basically, she still likes growth over value. It's funny, man. Does anyone really think value is going to outperform growth over the next decade? Like, I feel like, I don't know, man. That's just a hard argument to make. Value is going to outperform growth. Like, Coca-Cola is going to do better than Palantir. Let me look at Coca-Cola stock. How much dividend does Coke pay? By the way, I just found out what SCHD is. I literally just found that out the other day. It's the dividend equity ETF. I was like, oh wow. So now when people say buy this, I always wonder, why do people say just buy this and like look away? It's like, oh, because it's basically like, this thing that pays you to own it. Now, granted, the dividend yield is not phenomenal. It's 4.4. Well, it's not horrible either. 4.4% is pretty good. But this is where a lot of people just put their extra money here. I didn't know this thing was a thing, bro. I didn't know. I was like, this is a thing. This ETF just pays you a dividend. You think Coke is going to do better than Meta? Probably not. The third world still needs ease of access to building companies. Yeah, the thing about Meta, the thing that I think we all forget is that people in the developing world get their news from Facebook. Like, we get it from bloggers and journalists and like all these external media websites, but most people get it from Facebook, right? So like, Facebook's still really important to the rest of the world, even if the United States doesn't give a crap about it, and Canada, and more developed worlds. But there's still a lot of other. It's like Androids, right? Like, the reason Android has a decent percent share of the market is because most people don't buy iPhones, right? Like, it's just not accessible for them to purchase that type of device. 30% of my Roth IRA is in SCHD. Yeah, I want to start buying it. I want to just like have this little dividend play on the side, because instead of buying like one dividend stock like J&J or Coke or something, I would rather just get the ETF. So it's easier not to panic when you understand the fundamentals instead of just buying. Yeah, I've never panicked on Palantir, bro. Even when it went to 6, like, I never even thought for a second of selling, even after the last earnings, because I'm like it'll be fine. Just takes time. SCHD is a solid retirement holding, no doubt. It's performed very well for years. How many? We have about 47 seconds till the market closes. For those who are new here, we have a bell. For those that are old here, get ready to hear the bell. Today was a boring day, though, guys. I'm not going to lie. Like, look at the title for the stream. Stocks falling, market close. Like, I couldn't even, I literally was like, what's the title? There is no title. And yeah, I could have clickbaited some nonsense, but I was literally like, there's nothing interesting going on right now. Like, literally today has been just a work day for me, busy day, just try to get some stuff done. A lot of just sitting on my computer, get shit done, but nothing exciting. All right. It's 4 o'clock, October 6th, 2022. My birthday's on October 27th. So I'll be 25 years old in 21 days, 3 weeks. 4 p.m., the stock market on October 6th, 2022 is officially closed. Is it even worth looking at the tickers? Well, Twitter fell below 50. Pinterest 25, Meta nothing, Schwab dividend nothing, Coke nothing, Tesla 230. Yeah, it's boring, man. It's a boring, boring day. Amit, come to the city. Let's go drinking. Chris, I would love to. Just can't today because I have so much shit to do. But we got to plan a day on like either the weekend or a day where we just plan it like a week in advance, and then I'll leave that day free because I'll definitely come by. It's not too far of a drive. Do a B-Day meetup. Yo, Chris, I was going to ask you, my birthday's on Thursday, and I was thinking on a Friday, I have some friends come over to the apartment, and we just chill. If you want to come on a Friday, if you actually are here on Friday, we should do it. Amit, remember me when Elon sneaks his way out of the deal? Yeah, if Elon finally sneaks his way out of the deal, that would be crazy. On your birthday. My birthday's on a Thursday, though, so it's going to be boring. Like, there's nothing... I mean, it's a Thursday. It's hard for people to meet on a Thursday, you know? But maybe we can. I'd be down to just chill with you, Chris, on my birthday. I'll go into the city and we'll just get some drinks. Even though I don't drink, so I'll just get a Coke. I literally don't drink. Adobe 298. It's recovered decently well. It was at like 270 at one point. So the market has calmed down. Coinbase has done really well, 73. Kathy Wood bought another 200,000 shares of Ginkgo last night. She's also liquidated Spotify. TQQ at 22. This bad boy was at 34 the other like 3 weeks ago. So this one's come down significantly. Palantir 848, Tesla 238. Yeah. It's pretty boring. That's all it is. Pretty boring. I'll let you know. All right. Sounds good. October 27th will be my 1,000th day off in a row. All stocks crypto now. Wow. You retired off stocks and crypto? That's like really cool. I'd come to see you any day if I lived in the States. Showcat, that'd be like so dope, bro. If like there was someone I knew from YouTube that lived really close to me. Chris is the closest, but that'd be super dope, man. All right, let's see what else is on the YouTubes of the world. What CNBC is saying. Things are just so boring, man. This is just. Let's hear Kramer talk about Twitter. Let's hear Kramer. By the way, you guys know there is an inverse Kramer ETF being filed, just like a inverse ARK ETF. That's wild, bro. That people are just betting against everything he does, like crazy.
It's almost 2 days since we got really the shocking news that Elon Musk completely reversed course and said he wanted to buy Twitter at the agreed upon price back from April 25th when he first signed the deal to acquire Twitter. But it's been almost 2 days. And still, we have nothing to tell you specific to that moving forward. We're still really waiting at this point for, I guess, what you call a joint stipulation by the parties to stay the litigation and to then outline all the terms, which aren't really that long, all the terms they need to have agreed to so that Musk can buy the company. And as I was stating endlessly on Tuesday, then you'd potentially close the deal very quickly. There's been some questions, as there have been all along, about Morgan Stanley, right? It's leading this $13 billion financing. The banks face, depends on your math, all the banks, 7 or more banks, could face as much as a $850 million loss as a result of where rates are now and the flex that they have in the financing they offered, and the fact that they obviously will not be able to sell it down at that rate. But nobody I've spoken to at this point indicates in any way that those banks are not ready to step up to their commitment. Now, you call James Gorman at Morgan Stanley, and so far, he hasn't called me back. Love
but
to get
him when he was on.
And he would say nothing there either.
Say nothing.
He was on with you last week.
Yes, and I asked him because I'm, doing my job.
We're still sitting here waiting for something from the court. The deposition that we've all been led to believe at this point, and obviously I don't speak directly to Elon Musk, was frightful for him, because it's the only real thing you can look at and say what caused this, has been delayed, but it may be as little as a day. So it's possible that if somehow things don't get on track, depose him tomorrow. Listen, those deleted emails, those deleted texts, I should say, that's a real potential issue for him and his lawyer. We don't know where that would lead. Everything I hear continues to indicate that this should come to a conclusion very soon, but here we are 2 days later, still waiting for what is simple stuff. Simple stuff. Like just get the deal done, agree to stipulations, whatever it is. Morgan Stanley's going to either be there or not. Most likely they're going to be there with the financing. And then you close. So we'll see. We'll monitor today. You can see what the stock's doing. It's obviously quite a ways from 54.20, given that, again, the things that I'm outlining could happen very quickly. There's a 15-day marketing period for Morgan Stanley. There's Chancellor McCormick. I mean, what, are you going to go back to litigation on the 17th? Yeah, she says, listen, right now I'm still getting ready for trial. But the fact is, what case do they possibly have now that, given he's willing to buy the company at 54.20, this idea that, well, really, I'm not meaning it. What, you just gave up on your entire case?
Well, my understanding is that his lawyers, who I'm sure he has total contempt for, told him it's open and shut, that you lose, that in this chancery, you either pay now or you pay later, but you're paying. Now, when I speak to Brett Taylor about it, obviously he won't say anything about it, but he's chairman of the board. Brett Taylor is not a man that I would want on the other side.
Oh.
See, as much as Musk is a cowboy, this is a process situation.
This is
Brett
a process
Taylor's
situation.
Process, man.
And at this point, Carl, we're just waiting. We're just waiting. Hopefully we'll have an update for people. Who knows, even during the show. And
Yeah, Elon's overpaying for this bad boy. Like, the fair value of Twitter is probably 15, maybe $20, 25 if you want to be really generous. Because what's the market cap of Twitter? It's like 39 billion, right? 39 billion, and their price to sales is 7. They're doing about 4 billion in rev. So if I'm not mistaken, 4 billion on rev, 39 billion market cap. So it's almost, it's about 8 times paying for revenue. A little bit more than 8 times actually for revenue. Like, you could imagine that the problem with Twitter, okay, and this is some things I've been thinking about, is people have to be able to write things consistently to find an audience. Okay, Twitter is not easy because you have to come up with something witty to say. You have to use GIFs correctly, or I call them GIFs, but apparently it's called GIFs. You have to be able to talk about something. You also have to rank within their algorithm. Like if you talk about biology or space, or you have to have and you got to keep tweeting, right? Like you can't stop tweeting every day. And so finding a following on Twitter is one of the hardest platforms to grow on. And the reason I'm bringing this up is because that's why people don't post on Twitter. That's why they don't have more than 200 million active users, because it's really difficult. It's really difficult to create. Whereas on Instagram and TikTok, it's a lot more easier because it's just like photos. Adam, what's up? Hello. Thank you for being here. What do you think about the new weed news? I think it's phenomenal. I think we should have pardoned people for weed a long time ago. I'm happy Biden finally got it done. He made the offer. Watch SMR to better understand you. Yeah, I watched a little bit of what SMR was saying the other day. So I think the offer is probably going to go through. But that's the problem at the end of the day. I found so much garbage on Twitter, I stopped using it. I think Twitter can be phenomenal in terms of finding content that's important. SoFi CEO Anthony Noto, who was the former COO of Twitter, also talked about how there's great content on Twitter. I actually think Twitter is probably the best content in the world. If you're talking about written word, find me another network that gives the level of depth and analysis. There's a lot of BS, I get it, but that's every network. If you can get rid of that, and there's easy ways to filter that and mute it and all that stuff, there's pretty amazing content on Twitter. The problem is I think there's a lack of supply in terms of creators that are willing to create that much content. Now, when I mean lack of supply, there's hundreds of millions, but you need billions to be a really big. So Meta did $120 billion of ad revenue last year off 3 billion DAUs. Twitter has 200 million DAUs or MAUs. So it's really hard to be able to monetize that because you just don't have that many people to see ads. And also the ads kind of suck onto it. Let's go on my Twitter right now. We're going to do an experiment. We will scroll through whatever ads pop up. And now here's one thing. I would pay probably $10 a month to use Twitter. So if you want to target the power use, like for example, unlimited tweets. What if Elon says, okay, to do unlimited tweets a day, which it would mess with the algo because people really have to like, if someone's tweeting more than you, they might, just surpass you in terms of attention. $5 a month, unlimited tweets a day. I think there's a decent number of millions. Let's say there's 20 million people that would pay that. 20 times 5 is 100 million. 100 million times 12 months is 1.2 billion. So there you go. There's well, they do 1-2 billion a quarter, right? So, okay. So they would have to do $4 billion in revenue from this like subscription thing I just came up with in order to match their revenue from ads. That would be a little bit hard. Twitter chat is very underrated. It's helped me communicate and get in touch with other creators like Amit. That's also true. Now, the problem with Twitter chat, and look, let me know, Chris, if you feel the same way. Their messaging product should be one of the best messaging products on the planet. You can't even send a video in their messaging product. Like, or you can, but it's super complicated. Like, their messaging app should be so good. Twitter DMs are like, I literally raised probably 30 grand for my startup off Twitter DMs. Just because people saw my tweets, they messaged me, we get into communication, and then boom. Like, DMs are a form of discovery, and discovery is the basis of social media. But the DMs, like, kind of suck. Like, they could be so much better. Amit, do you have the open link and new tab functionality on the radar for your overhaul of Audia? Yes. I feel like that's a standard thing on Chrome. But if you're talking about the app, then yes, that is. So what we're doing, a little update on Audia. We have just contracted 3 phenomenal front-end engineers from India. And the reason we got them so easily is because my CTO, he has his own consulting firm, so he manages a bunch of these engineers all the time. And by the way, I'm about to go on Twitter right now so we can look at their ads. And so we're rebuilding the entire app. Like, we're rebuilding the entire website, entire app. I know it kind of looks like shit right now. I'm going to be honest. It's like a shitty template. It's totally changing the entire thing. And so I hope to get that done by end of November. So it's really exciting to rechange it, but there's a lot of new, like, for example, chapters. On YouTube you have chapters, like you put in the chapters of a video, and you can, like, we should easily be able to have that on Audia, right? So you can just skip to the parts you want to get to. Features like that plus a whole redesign is coming. So I'm excited for that. It's going to take about a month and a half, but we're going to get that soon. Okay, so here's Twitter, right? Here's the first ad. BET, the culture lives here. Hip hop awards. Okay. Promoted by Nissan. Okay, that's not that interesting. Let's see what else. What other ads do we have? Here we go. Intel, watch today's keynote. So Intel wants me to watch today's keynote. Is this a full hour long? No, I have to click.
Performance for our latest processors.
This is a full hour long ad. Wow. Okay. See, like, here's the lot. Like, who on Twitter, who would actually like sit at this tweet for an hour? No one, right? So if you got to click on the link, and then I'm assuming like no one's doing that on Twitter. On YouTube, yeah, video ad would work like that. I just saw an ad on YouTube, by the way, for a video of a music video, and it didn't even look like an ad. It had ad. I think YouTube's trying to do something interesting. YouTube's trying to get people to pay for premium, right? I went on my other account that doesn't have premium, and literally, where the download button is on YouTube? If you have premium, it says download. It said no ads on it. And when you click on no ads, it takes you to a link to buy premium. So the reason I say that is because the ads that are being shown on YouTube, the little AD that they have to use to specify it's an ad is in such small text. It was underneath the video. I was scrolling on my account that doesn't have premium, and I came across this video that was an ad, but it barely looked like an ad. Like, it didn't have the yellow bar, nothing. It was just AD right at the bottom. And it was more clickable, to be honest, because it didn't feel like an ad. So I think advertising, YouTube might be like, it's slowing down, and we really need to get people to pay $15 a month for premium, because otherwise it's not gonna happen. Oh, this is the Weejo keynote. You guys see this? This just came out. Hold on, the full keynote. I wonder if they got me in there. Oh, it's only 5 minutes. Did they get me in here? Am I in here? Oh, that's so cool. They got my cap. Oh, there we go. Hold on, I gotta show you guys. They got me in here. They got my cap in here. It was actually a decent keynote by my guy, Richard. Okay, here we go. Look at that. There's me. There's me. You see me right there? There's me. That was pretty cool. I got the vlog coming on that pretty soon. Okay, let's go back to Twitter. Let's see the ads. Chris, we're going to do a Snowflake deep dive soon. I'm pretty sure a lot of people are curious about Snowflake. So we will do a Snowflake deep dive very soon because Chris thinks it's like the best opportunity in the world. And I don't know too much about it. So we'll learn more. Peacock, here's another ad. Not that interesting. Apple Card, here's another ad. I guess. Like Facebook ads are more targeted than these for me. What else do we have? Next Era Energy Transmission NJC Wind Connector. Okay, I'm in New Jersey, so I guess that's specific, but it's whatever. What else do we have? Let's see one more ad. Where's another ad? NFL. Okay, I guess. It's just, you see what I'm saying? Like the ads are just like Elon's really got to make it for the people that use Twitter love Twitter. Another Apple ad. I would pay for Twitter because I use it as a means of communication. And if you don't pay for Twitter, that's fine. You should have ads. But I think Elon should be like $5. You can tweet as much as you want. You have no ads. Just give us the $5 every month. I think a lot of people would pay for it. Hey, Amit, let me know when you need help in hand with the product side of things. Happy to help. Awesome, Ishan. I will let you know. And thank you for the help. It means a lot. Top tweets equal drama. That is also true. Did you have top tweets or are you on? I'm on top tweets. Chronological for me I don't discover that much stuff on chronological. That's why I don't like it. I like getting recommended new tweets. I actually enjoy good tweets. Like I actually want to read and find new tweets on certain subjects. Like I like using the product like that. So I don't use chronological. Exporting our jobs. I mean, I'm not exporting your jobs. I'm giving people in India more money. It's a good thing. Look up Snowflake Anaconda. If Nicki Minaj pops up for this, because you remember she made, what do you call that? She made a show or a music video called Anaconda. Snowflake partners with an invest in Anaconda to bring enterprise-grade open source Python innovation to the data cloud. Yeah, but I mean, yeah, Snowflake is it's not a bad, it's a good product, Chris. I just think the valuation is like not good. I mean, it's hard to defend that valuation, bro. Like, even if you slushed it in half, it would be a little expensive. I feel like we can argue that. Alex, how was your exam? Shout out to Alex. I know he took his exam today. Hope it went good for you. Yeah, there's nothing else that's crazy that's going on. Let's see what else we've got on. I'm waiting for the housing crash, bro. When is this happening? Because like these mortgage rates are unacceptable. I'm sure Meet Kevin's waiting for this crash as well. Now that he has $30 million he's about to spend on it. That's going to be very interesting. New York City rents in Manhattan have fell 18% over the past month, which is closer to where we're seeing this crash happen, or potentially for this crash happen. Let's listen to this. I'm more inclined to be short on stocks than long right now. Let's see the bearish case.
Jace, what do you think? Are you long the market overall here? Are you short the market? What do you think about these wild swings we've seen?
Becky, I'd be more inclined to be short than long here. I mean, if you have a intermediate to longer term perspective, which means months to a year, something along those lines. Next week or so, the Lord only knows. I think there's been a big short covering rally, but I think the fundamentals are really setting up for certainly more volatility, and I would say probably a lower S&P 500 when all said and done. If you look at profits, economic growth, the Fed, monetary conditions, all the rest of it, I still think it's a very tough setup.
Are you concerned about things getting stretched in the market, things getting broken, or you're just looking at this from the Fed not being done with raising rates and the market just getting hopeful about that being the narrative here?
Yeah, I mean, I think the first thing I would say is it's a strange circumstance when people are praying for a financial crisis to get bullish on equities.
I think so,
I think that's worked. I mean, that has worked. You can't blame people, but I think the problem now is that inflation is sufficiently high and stubbornly high enough so that the Fed, I just want to say to investors, it's not about you. The Fed, I think right now, they've made it clear their focus is on price stability. They got started a little too late after the pandemic. And now the main focus, really, they have a single mandate, which is to get back to lower inflation. And so wherever the chips may fall as far as the financial markets, I think is where they're going to fall. The thing that you have not seen yet, if you think there's a decent possibility of recession in the next 2 years, which we do, have been lower earnings. And so in a typical recession, earnings fall 30% on average. Median is 22%. That would give you earnings per share in the S&P 500 of about $200. And you could do the math in terms of whatever multiple you think that is, 15 times, 16 times. But that gives you something more like 3,000 to 3,200 on the S&P 500. We're not going to get there all at once, but to me, that's kind of where the trend is until I see some sort of meaningful change in the basic building blocks of what drives shareholder value.
So, Jason, if you're correct that the Fed has a single mandate right now, that is purely getting inflationary costs down, and I think you're probably right. If that's the case, we're going to be looking very closely at the jobs report tomorrow. My guess is that if the number is weak, the market will rejoice and think that the Fed's going to ease sooner rather than later because the job market finally looks like it might be.
All right, let's stop that there. I mean, there's an argument, obviously, to be short the market because this last rally was kind of fake, but there's also an argument that we might be oversold. No one knows, and that's the problem. Chipotle raised the point count for a free bowl. I'm pissed, bro. These fucking restaurants, they're like, yeah, you can't get it for free. Not in this economy. Have you talked about the new contract? Yeah, I talked about it in the market open. It's awesome. 85 million over 5 years. Another Palantir. I mean, they're getting backloaded at the end of the year. So that's almost $800 million worth of deals they got in the past month and a half, which is awesome. So it's pretty good. More and more deals for Palantir. Jeff Dahmer show on Netflix traumatized me. So a lot of people have watched this. I have not watched this yet. I've heard from a lot of people to watch this. I've not consumed it yet. If I was going to see something on Netflix, it would be that new dating show because for some reason I like the dating shows. So I haven't watched anything on Netflix in a while, but I heard it's important. That Jeff Dahmer thing is important. I'll pay for privileges. Yeah, I would pay Twitter for some type of privilege, something that's important. It just has to be important. It has to feel important, It traumatized you. Yeah, I gotta watch it, man. It's like another Ted Bundy thing, right? Where the guy like kills people. There was a mass shooting in Thailand today. A guy killed about 20 adults and kids, just firing from a car. Then he went home, killed his wife, killed his son, and then killed himself. So that was rough, man. That was not the best. Reddit introduced NFTs. Do you think Twitter will do this? It doesn't matter. NFTs don't matter. Like, I don't think anyone cares about NFTs, to be honest. And even if they do, the problem with NFTs is that they're all based on Ethereum, and Ethereum's price is in the trash. So until Ethereum goes up, there's not going to be the monetary financial incentive for people to trade NFTs like they were. I mean, OpenSea's volume of trading activity has declined dramatically. And 99% of NFT projects are shit. Like, the only ones that are relevant are like Bored Apes Clubs, VFriends, and a couple of other ones. So I don't think NFTs save anything. Just like the NFT marketplace for Coinbase, it doesn't save anything. Like, it's pretty. I don't think that saves Twitter. What saves Twitter is people wanting to pay for a phenomenal communication service, getting rid of the bots, and finding a way. What is your put it in the chat? What is your best idea for Elon to create a marketing campaign that gets more users on Twitter? I would like to know. What do you think? Chris says Q3, Q4 rev is going to beat for Palantir. If it goes above 30%, which is highly likely, we might see Palantir go back to 15 by the end of the year. If they beat above 30%, yeah, right now they're expected to do 23%, right? So they have to really ramp it up before Q3, Q4 to get to that 30%, which is possible. Because right now we're still in Q3. Q4 starts in a month, I think. Or very soon, because it's going to be the last 3 months of the year. So we're going to see so much worse. It's so twisted what he did to his victims. Don't Google his story before you watch it. You'll be shocked when you actually get around to watching it. I won't Google it. Have you guys seen the cat? What's it called on Netflix? It's something about a cat killer. I forgot the name of it, but I watched that documentary twice. It was one of the best documentaries I've seen ever around killing a cat. And it was wild. Q4 Palantir will be gap profitable while Snow will dilute. I don't think we're going to get gap profitability in Q4, Mike. I mean, Carp even said 2025, we're looking at profitability. So I don't think profitability is coming. I also don't think Snow is diluting shareholders, unless you meant to say it the other way around. But I don't think we're getting gap. Chris, you think we're going to get gap profitability in Q4? That would be amazing. Don't F with cats. Yeah, don't F with cats. That was crazy, right? I don't think we're getting it till 25. At least that's what Carp said, unless he was sandbagging the crap out of that. That would be amazing. Don't mess with cats. That's what it was called. Don't mess with cats. Thou shalt not F with felonies. Yo, I've never liked cats ever. I've never wanted a cat in my life. I mean, I had it once when I was like 2nd grade, but then my mom returned it after a week. It's a long story. I'll talk about it another day. Cats kind of scare me. I'd rather have a dog than a cat. Like a cat looks like it's ready to just pounce and kill you. Like the felineness of it is like really scary to me. But a dog would be kind of cool. Okay. I think we're pretty much done on the market close. So I am publishing a video right now on YouTube. The idea with me and Jeremy is officially out. So this YouTube video is now going live. It is public. Boom. Jeremy Financial Education shares some of his thoughts on Palantir. It's in your feeds. You guys can check it out. Please listen to it on Audia if you are interested in Jeremy. We had a really good conversation about life and a lot of other things. So you can download the app, sign up for it. It's in the description. And yeah, the full video will be out on Saturday for those who want to wait for the video. But it was a really good discussion. Jeremy let me into his home. The thumbnail for the Audia is pretty cool. He has a really big house, man. His house is like, actually, let me show you guys a picture. His house is like, first of all, this is the thumbnail. This is me and the boy. Wait, let me make sure the brightness is up. This is me and him. Government contracts are high margin. It will be only 1 quarter, but it could eke out a small profit. Yeah, that'd be amazing. Congrats on getting some famous attention on Audia. Juan, thank you. We had the Meet Kevin interview exclusive on Audia, and that did pretty well also. So that was awesome. We also partnered with Farzad. If you guys know him, he's on Twitter. He's exclusive. All of his audio is now exclusive on Audia. He loves the idea behind it for those who follow Farzad. So if you want to listen to any of his content, you can listen to it on Audia. He's a really, really nice guy. And he loves the concept of Audia. And he's like, I hate the freaking RSS feeds on Spotify and Apple. So it's pretty dope. That's me and him. We are, I'm pretty short compared to him. He was really tall. But yeah. All right, guys, listen to it. Let me know what you guys think. Thank you so much for being here. You can sign up in the description below. And the link to it is in the YouTube video I just posted. I'll probably post a link right here as well, so you guys can check it out. And that's it. Yeah, I will see you guys very soon. Bye-bye, everybody. Thank you for joining.